this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for KnockOut TV.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into boxing?
I always loved the sport. Growing up watching Muhammad Ali, but it wasn't until I moved to Las Vegas and I went to my first Ali fight back in '72 when Ali fought this guy by the name of Joe Bugner.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I fell in love with the sport from that point on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you turn that love into getting into the ring and refereeing?
Well, first I got into the amateur program as a judge. I knew nothing about refereeing. So I got in as a judge. I said to myself, well, how difficult is that? You sit there and watch a fight. And the very guy that's getting inducted, Jerry Roth, was the guy that said to me, you know, hey, Kenny, you're in pretty good shape. Why don't you try refereeing? And my first thought was, no, I don't want to get in there. I don't want to do that. And I thought about it and I said, well, why give it a shot? So I talked to Richard Steele, who had just recently moved to Las Vegas and was doing some of the major fights. And I asked him, could he show me the art and skill of refereeing? And he did. And here I am today.
Wow, that's a mentor. Richard Steele, that's a great mentor.
Yes, sir.
You know, they don't get much better than that.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Give us at KnockOut TV the biggest fight that you had to step in the ring and handle.
Well, the biggest fight, which was just a couple of years ago, 2015, when Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao. That fight goes down as the biggest watched, viewed, pay-per-view fight ever. But there's been many, many more. I've done many of Floyd Mayweather fights as well as Manny Pacquiao fights. But yeah, there's been a lot of great ones that I've refereed. I've been very and truly blessed. Mayweather has a style that I know that a lot of people don't like. A lot of people are conditioned to the Rocky style fighter, the guy that goes in there and stands there and just go toe to toe, blow to blow, and he doesn't create that style. He likes to move. He likes he's more of a defensive fighter than an offensive fighter, and I can't knock him for that, for the simple fact that, you know, people enjoy the fights of today, but what happens later to these guys that get in the ring and take headshots after headshots.
TV, Tim Pileski with The Voice. Michael Buffer. You know, I've said this, people have asked me, who has the greatest job in the world? And I always say Michael Buffer. Is this the greatest job in the world?
I don't know if it's the greatest job in the world, but it's a pretty good one. I don't think it's one that I would trade too soon.
All right, going to events, what's the greatest perk?
Well, you know what the greatest perk for a boxing fan, which I am, is to get to do this. I'm in the middle of the ring. I get to see these guys up close. You know, I have to be professional and do my job. But then I get to sit there, and what's the best thing for a fight fan? Watching a fight.
Exactly.
At ringside, the best seat in the house.
Well, you have the golden voice. You just had some medical issues with your voice.
Yeah.
How's things going with that? Is everything okay?
It's throat cancer.
Okay.
I'm in recovery. I was blessed with really good doctors. I had a lot of stuff removed, but they left my voice. So all I can say is to anybody out there, if something doesn't feel right, I discovered a lump on my neck and got it checked right away. And it was stage 2. You know, you get to 3 and 4, you got problems. And I just want to say that prevention is the best medicine, and just get it taken care of right away when you find something.
Absolutely, and we do wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot.
Now, sitting ringside, favorite fight of all time that you sat ringside for that really stands out?
You know, my favorite moment, before I go to the favorite fight, my favorite moment was when Foreman knocked out Michael Moore. I love Michael Moore. It's got nothing to do with
Sure.
But the moment, the way the air sucked out of the building when all of a sudden Michael Moore went down, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was just breathtaking.
Gasp.
Favorite fight? Iran Barkley, February of '89 in Atlantic City, 18 inches of snow. Somehow every fan showed up, and in a split decision, Roberto Duran became middleweight champion of the world.
That's
great fight.
Great fight. Now, one last question. When they handed you a scorecard, okay, and you looked at the scorecard and you said, oh, no, I can't announce this. Has there ever been a situation that the decision in your eyes was so poor that you had to say that you're going to be the bad guy?
I won't say what state or when or where or anything, but it was quite a while ago.
Okay.
And I got a scorecard, the 3 judges' scores, and it wasn't what I saw, and I knew it wasn't going to be what the fans saw. Not that, from further away ringside they always have the best view, and I actually thought, because it does happen, that maybe they made a mistake. Sure. So I gave it back to the supervisor, and I said, are you sure about this? And I got one of these. I forget how the response was. I'll paraphrase it, something like, do you want to keep your license? Something to that effect. And but it was kind of weird. But hey, it happens.
It does happen. It happens. Michael Buffer, we wish you all the best in health.
Thanks, Tim.
And I appreciate you coming on Knockout TV.
Always good to see you.
Absolute pleasure.
Right.
Thank you so much, Michael Buffer. Roy Jones Jr., former middleweight, super middleweight,
and light
heavyweight, and heavyweight.
There you go.
Do you have a greatest moment?
Making the Olympic team.
That was your that was your greatest moment?
Because you one guy selected out of the whole country to represent your team, your country, on that team. One guy in the whole, and you just kids at that time. I was 19 years old. One guy to represent the whole country in a weight class.
Now,
it could be 2 or 3 light heavyweight champions, it could be 2 or 3 heavyweight champions, 2 or 3 super middleweight, 2 or 3 middleweight, but it's one guy that goes to the Olympics.
So true American feels good, right?
There you go.
Absolutely. Okay. When they raised your hand, middleweight championship, was that heavyweight championship that special?
Yeah, it was the most special of all the championships. That one, it even outdid the super middleweight one, because the super middleweight was more spectacular because I beat the guy who was supposed to be so good at the time. But the heavyweight one was the best one of all because it was history in the making, history that hadn't happened in 106 years. And right now, I'm the only guy alive that's won the middleweight and heavyweight title and went back down and regained the light heavyweight title.
Absolutely great.
Nobody else alive can say they did that, and that's big.
That's Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest fighters of all time. Thank you so much for coming on Knockout TV. Appreciate it.
I can't tell you too much about the scene, but the scene, it was inside the ring, and how do you say it? I was very emotional in that scene, so I was so focused about my performance that I bring those emotions to the screen that I kind of forgot the choreography, and we still had to box. So me and Mike, we came again together, and I was so in the zone putting those emotions on my face that I kind of forgot that it's not a real boxing match. So the first punch was a left hook. And he told me afterwards, like he saw it already in my eyes that I'm not here anymore. I was so much in the zone that he saw it immediately that I forget that I can't really hit him. So I was coming towards him, and I was so in the zone that I punched him for real. And he took it like a man, he was like, it, I don't want to get him out of the zone. I'm not going to say anything, but he told me afterwards. It was a fun story because even the director and the people behind the screen, they were like, did he hit him for real? Like, you could actually tell that it was a real left hook, and trust me, you don't want to get a left hook from me, so.
Welcome to this week's episode of Knockout TV. I am Tim Pileski, joined by my special guest, the Bayonne bleeder, Chuck Wepner. You're fighting in the finals in the New York Golden Gloves, Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Please tell that story if you don't mind.
Well, we were fighting in Madison Square Garden in front of almost 18,000 people, and I was fighting a New York City cop, a guy named John Sullivan, and James John Sullivan, and a pretty tough guy, brawler like myself. And I'm sitting in the dressing room just before the fight, and the door opens, and my father walked in. I was 25 years old, and I never met my father because my mother and father split up when I was about a year and a half old. She was pregnant with my brother. And anyway, he says, how you doing, son? You know who I am. I said, I know you are, Pop. I saw pictures of him. And my grandfather, Herman Wepner. By the way, our name used to be Von Wepner.
Oh, really?
The Von after the First World War. Germans weren't too popular. Got me into the top 10 in the world. And I stayed there for 42 straight months. And in my era, to be in the top 10 in the world when you had Ali, Fraser, me, Quarry, Norton, Liston, Terrell. I mean, you had some big names here, and that was an honor itself just to be ranked in the top 10 for 42 straight months. It was nice.
That's great. Now you went 10 rounds with Sonny Liston.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that fight.
Well,
now compare Liston. I mean, big puncher.
Yeah, big puncher.
Okay.
Short, everything short right here. Short. Where George Foreman was a wide puncher.
Right.
That was when George first came out. When George made his comeback, everything was short with him too.
Can you compare the two as punchers?
Liston, I'd say the toughest puncher I ever fought.
Really? Okay, that's a good. I like.
I was actually hurting a couple of times in that fight where I was dizzy. You know, where he hit me so hard that I was actually seeing stars and I was dizzy. And you know, for 6 rounds I was in that fight.
Stitch has done a great job over that right eye, but now the left eye looks like it's almost shut.
And the referee at the end of the 9th round, because with Liston I got 72 stitches, a broken nose, and a broken left cheekbone. And he came in, Barney Felix, came in the end of the 9th round, and he said, Chuck, I'm going to stop the fight. He said, you're all busted up. I said, Barney, I said, please, give me one more round. I said, I'm okay, I can see. It was all blurry.
Oh, boy.
So my manager had his hand on my shoulder, so Barney goes, how many fingers do I have up? And Al tapped me 3 times. I said, 3. So Barney said, okay, you can come out.
Oh, that's great.
So the 10th round, I come out, and I'm trying to keep low. Al said to me, keep low, Chuck. Keep low, you know, keep under his punches.
You're winning this. You are going to win this. But just keep smart and keep away from him. He's going to sleep this time. He's going out this round.
I should have stopped this fight with your father. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay? Let me finish. I got to prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
Anyway, I threw a big hook, a left hook, and I hit him right in the neck. Unfortunately, it was Barney Felix, the referee.
Hopefully you dropped him. Did you drop? You didn't drop the ref?
That was really was embarrassing. I threw a good hook, and now he didn't drop Liston.
And he's still standing.
I didn't drop Bob, but he's staggered. You know, Jersey Joe Walker jumped up on a ring apron and went, that's it, the fight's over. Well, they knew I couldn't see then, you know, but Don King said, you know, we're looking to give a white guy a break. And I was the only top 10 ranked guy, and Ali had beaten Quarry twice already. So I was the only white guy left.
So they went through the top 10 and looking for white guys, and there you are?
Give a white guy.
Wow.
Rocky.
Sure, yeah.
It's like they made these big buttons. Let's give the white guy a break. Where it used to be, let's give the black guy a break. Let's give the white guy a break, you know. And Don King was in Cleveland with Muhammad Ali at the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Which is in Cleveland, Ohio. The old timers, the Music Hall of Fame. So
Okay.
Ali was making an appearance there or something. And he said to Muhammad Ali, I got this white guy. You had a tough fight with Foreman. I got this white guy. Don told me the story.
Oh, jeez, I can imagine.
He said, you know, it'll be a workout for you, but you got to have a title defense. You know, the guy's ranked 7th in the world, but you know what? He's a bleeder. You'll outbox him and everything. And Ali said, okay. Don King said, okay. He said, I got your hand on the champ. I shook hands to take a picture, Don. That's how Don used to lock you up. Right on the phone. UPAP. Ali just agreed to fight Wepner.
Okay, now let's talk about that fight. Here's the greatest fighter, arguably, ever. You go 15 rounds with him. You're in amazing shape.
Right.
Nobody gives you a chance.
70 to 1.
Right? 70 to 1. Okay, nobody gives you a chance except you. I mean, you went in. Now, I'm going to steal. You didn't, you know, we know you're the influence for Rocky, okay?
Right.
But you didn't go in saying, I just want to go the distance.
No.
Did you? You just, you want to win this fight.
I want to
and
win
you
this
thought
fight.
you were going to win this fight.
Of course.
Stallone watched the fight with me and Ali, and he got the inspiration. Called me 3 weeks later and said, Chuck, I just wrote a script. I want to have it produced. I want you to be the real Rocky. And I was. He made $3.8 million worldwide. I'll tell you something. I love Stallone.
Yeah.
Stallone was a great actor. He immortalized me. He immortalized
He absolutely did. You are the true Rocky.
Excellent.
You're a living legend. I am so proud to talk to you, and I'm glad you're here. Now we're going to go to the bar. We're going to have a drink.
Thank you.
Chuck Wepner, thanks for coming on KnockOut TV.
Yes, Rocky!